You've probably had days where everything looked the same. You woke up, followed your routine, did what you had to do, yet somehow the results felt completely different. One day, you do less but achieve more. Another day, you do everything right, but nothing seems to work. The time is the same, the effort is the same, but the outcome is not. And deep down, you begin to sense that there is something invisible affecting your life. Something beyond effort, beyond planning, beyond strategy. That something is barakah. And the truth is, you don't stumble upon it sluchino. You invite it into your life by the way you live every single day. Barakah is not about having more. It is about what you have becoming enough, then becoming more than enough. It is when your time stretches, your efforts multiply, your peace deepens, and your life begins to feel aligned in a way that cannot be explained logically. And the most powerful part is this: barakah is not reserved for special people or rare moments. It is built through small, consistent actions that you repeat daily, often without realizing how much they shape your life. The problem is, most people are chasing results without building the habits that attract barakah. You focus on working harder, doing more, staying busy, trying to control every outcome. But you ignore the small daily practices that transform ordinary effort into something meaningful and impactful. And because of that, you end up exhausted, overwhelmed, and wondering why things don't feel right even when you are doing so much. But what if the shift you need is not in how much you do, but in how you live? Because there are simple habits, these quiet actions, things you can do every single day that begin to change everything from within. They don't require perfection. They don't require a complete life overhaul. But when practiced consistently, they begin to invite a kind of blessing into your life that you can feel in your time, in your work, in your relationships, and most importantly, in your heart. The first habit that brings barakah into your life is how you begin your day. The way you start your morning is not just a routine, it is a declaration. It sets the tone for everything that follows. When you wake up and immediately rush into your day, checking your phone, reacting to notifications, allowing the outside world to take control of your attention, you begin your day disconnected. You start in a state of reaction, not intention. And that subtle shift affects everything that comes after. But when you begin your day with awareness, with stillness, with a moment that grounds you before the world rushes in, something changes. You are no longer chasing your day. You are leading it. That quiet, intentional start creates clarity in your mind, calmness in your heart, and direction in your actions. And over time, you begin to notice that your days feel longer, your focus feels sharper, and your energy feels more stable. That is not coincidence. That is barakah entering your time. The second habit is protecting your focus throughout the day. You live in a world that is constantly pulling your attention in every direction. Notifications, messages, endless content, all competing for your time and energy. And every time you give in without control, you lose a piece of your focus. You become scattered, distracted, unable to fully invest yourself in anything meaningful. And when your attention is divided, your efforts lose their weight. But when you start guarding your focus, when you become intentional about where your attention goes, you begin to reclaim your energy. You start doing fewer things, but with more presence. You complete tasks with depth instead of rushing through them. And suddenly the same amount of time begins to produce better results. This is one of the clearest signs of barakah. When less effort starts giving you more impact. The third habit is consistency in small good actions. Most people wait for motivation. They wait for the perfect moment, the right mood, the ideal conditions. But barakah does not come from occasional bursts of effort, like it comes from consistency, from showing up daily even when it feels small, even when it feels insignificant, because those small actions are not small in their impact, they are seeds. And every day you plant them, you are building something beneath the surface that you may not see immediately. But over time, those seeds grow into something powerful, something stable, something that begins to reflect in every area of your life. Consistency creates a rhythm, and that rhythm creates stability. And within that stability, barakah begins to flow. The fourth habit is how you treat people. You might not connect this directly to your success, your time, or your productivity, but it has a deeper impact than you realize. The way you speak, the way you respond, the way you carry yourself in your interactions, all of it shapes the environment around you. And that environment affects your life in ways you cannot always see. When you approach people with sincerity, with patience, with respect, you create ease in your relationships. You remove net unnecessary tension, conflict, and negativity. And in return, you find doors opening for you, opportunities coming your way, support appearing when you need it. It's not always immediate and it's not always obvious. But over time, you begin to see a pattern. Your life feels smoother. Things fall into place more easily. And that is part of what barakah looks like. Ease in places where there used to be struggle. The fifth habit is gratitude in every state. It is easy to be grateful when things are going well. But the real transformation happens when you remain grateful, even when things are uncertain, when outcomes are not clear, when life doesn't meet your expectations. Because gratitude is not just a reaction, it is a perspective. When you train yourself to see what is still good, what is still working, what is still present in your life, you shift your focus from lack to abundance. And that shift changes how you feel, how you think, and how you act. You begin to move through life with a sense of contentment that is not dependent on circumstances. And in that state of contentment, barakah finds a place to grow. Because a heart that recognizes what it has is a heart that is ready to receive more. Now, when you look at these habits, they may seem simple, almost too simple. You might think they are not enough to create a real change in your life, but that is exactly why they are so powerful. Because they are sustainable, they are repeatable, they become part of who you are, not just something you try temporarily. And when these habits become part of your daily life, they begin to transform everything quietly, steadily, deeply. But to truly understand how these habits unlock barakah in a way that changes your entire life, you need to see what happens when they come together, when they move from actions to identity, and when they begin to reshape not just what you do, but who you become. And this is where everything comes together. Not as separate habits, not as isolated actions, but as a way of living that quietly transforms the direction of your entire life. Because barakah is not something you switch on and off. It is not a moment, not a feeling, not a one-time experience. It is a state that grows within your life when your daily actions begin to align with a deeper purpose. And when these 5 habits start working together, they do something powerful, and they begin to reshape you from the inside out. You are no longer just someone trying to be productive. You become someone who moves with intention. You are no longer just trying to manage your time. You become someone whose time carries weight. You are no longer chasing peace in different places. You become someone who carries peace within. And that shift changes everything. Because now, when you wake up and start your day with intention, you are not just setting a routine. You are anchoring your entire day in clarity. And as you move through your day protecting your focus, you are not just avoiding distractions, you are preserving the quality of your effort. When you stay consistent in small actions, you are not just building discipline, you are building trust within yourself. When you treat people with sincerity, you are not just being kind, you are shaping the environment that surrounds your life. And when you remain grateful, you are not just thinking positively, you are training your heart to recognize value in every moment. Individually, these habits are simple, but together they create a life that feels completely different. You start to notice that your days feel more organized even when they are busy. You begin to feel calmer even when things don't go as planned. Your work starts to feel more meaningful even when it is challenging. And your heart begins to feel full even when your life is not perfect. This is the quiet power of barakah. It does not always come in dramatic changes. It comes in subtle shifts, in the way your time stretches, in the way your efforts multiply, in the way your stress reduces, in the way your heart feels at ease even in the middle of uncertainty. And perhaps the most beautiful part is this: other people may not even see it. From the outside, your life might look the same. You are still waking up, still working, still going through your routine, but on the inside, everything feels different. There is a sense of alignment, a sense of direction, a sense of peace that was not there before. And once you experience that, you begin to understand something deeply. Barakah is not about changing your entire life overnight. It is about changing how you live your life every day. It is in the quiet moments no one sees, in the small choices no one notices, in the consistent actions that do not feel significant in the moment but carry weight over time. And this is why so many people miss it, because they are looking for something big, something immediate, something obvious, while barakah grows in what is small, consistent, and not sincere. But there is something you need to be careful about. You cannot treat these habits like a checklist. You cannot approach them as something you do just to get results, because the moment you reduce them to a transaction, they lose their depth. They lose the sincerity that gives them power. These habits are not about performance. They are about alignment. They are about bringing your actions, your mindset, and your intention into harmony. And when that harmony exists, barakah flows naturally. Not forced, not rushed, not controlled, but given in ways that often surprise you. You might find yourself finishing tasks faster than expected. You might notice that things begin to fall into place without constant struggle. You might feel a sense of calm in situations that would normally overwhelm you. And slowly, you begin to trust that something is changing, not just around you, but within you. And that is when your perspective shifts completely. You stop chasing more, and you start valuing what you already have. You stop rushing through your days, and you start being present in them. You stop measuring your life only by outcomes, and you start appreciating the process. And in that shift, you unlock something that cannot be taken away from you. A life that feels meaningful, not because it is perfect, but because it is aligned. So if you are looking for barakah in your life, don't look for it in big changes or dramatic transformations. Look for it in how you wake up, in how you spend your time, in how you treat people, in how consistent you are, in how grateful you remain. Because these are the doors, and every single day you are either opening them or closing them. The choice is yours.